Hey everyone, DarkDragoon here with Season 2, Episode 14 of my FTB Modpack Let's Play. We are in our Thaumcraft base today, and don't worry, we are going to get to what I was talking about at the end of last episode, but I've been doing quite a bit of research, and I discovered a few really cool things, so I wanted to go ahead and make those and show you guys how to put them together now. Obviously, you might not have the research for this yet, but keep working at it and you'll get it in short order. It took me a little while, but yeah. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pop open my Thaumanomicon and take a look at magical building blocks, because we're going to make some of these. So we're going to need our arcane work table and a bunch of smooth stone and some thaumium. I'm pretty sure I got this together. So if we combine like so with our wand, we'll get arcane stone blocks, and it's going to take 20 V's out of the wand. Boom. Cool. Now, you can see you can put these down, and they look like cobblestone with some framing around it, but it's not really the point of these. I'm actually going to put these right here in this pattern. As you can see, the Thaumanomicon actually does sort of show us some various things we can do. And one of them is a mystical construct. So if you put these together, we'll hopefully be making something cool. So got the blocks in place. Let's whack it with our wand and see what happens. Boom. So we have just made ourselves an infusion altar. It's pretty cool. It works a lot like the work table, except it will, when you put your recipe in here, it'll tell you what aspects you need to complete the recipe. And we're going to make use of that right now, because I've got just a few things I want to make. And first of all, let's go ahead. I think I wanted to make some of this. Is that? Yeah, it has to go in the work table. So we're going to need 2 of these. There we go. 1, 2. Cool. And from there, I think you can see I've definitely gotten quite a bit of research. I've researched all the way down here, all over the place. It's pretty cool. So we're going to make ourselves a set of boots of the traveler. Looks pretty cool. These boots are awesome. They're going to let us run faster, jump higher, be cooler. There you go. But we needed an infusion altar to do that, obviously. So let's get that thing started. There's actually 2 items in particular that I want to start working toward at some point. Well, before we do that, let's go ahead and, I know kind of going all over the place, but now that we have our infusion altar, we should be able to upgrade our Wand of the Apprentice. Let's take a look at our recipe here. I think it's air, fire, earth, water. Okay. Air, fire, earth, water. There we go. And you can see it's telling us it wants 16 precantio. So, if we take our bucket of water, put it in our crucible, and wait a minute, you see the crucible will supply the aspects to the infusion altar from a little bit of a distance. It's a pretty decent distance. I'm pretty sure this is going to be fine, but it could be a little further than this as well. So, let's take a look. These shards have 6 precantio? Yes, precantio each. So we're going to need a total of 3 to accommodate all of the aspects the infusion altar wants. So it should. It's going to be interesting. It should start flying over. Unless it wants me to have another Wand of the Apprentice. That is quite interesting indeed. Yeah, because it definitely needs 50 V's, so we're going to actually need another Wand of the Apprentice. It's a little strange that it would want us to have. Okay, it looks like I'm going to need to get myself a bit of gold and get myself another wand made before I can finish this, but I'll do that and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and put my wand of the apprentice here in our infusion table, our infusion altar, and yes, you can see that that was what we were missing. And now that Precantio is lit up, we can see that the infusion altar has access to the aspects from our crucible, and you can see them sort of flying through the air. So cool. So we'll make ourselves a wand of the adept. Just because I figured it'd be kind of a cool thing to just go ahead and make. So, that done, let's go ahead and make those boots of the traveler that I was talking about. And they should be something like this. Yes, looks right to me. Leather on the bottom. Okay, and you can see the infusion altar wants tons and tons of different stuff. So I'm going to start trying to supply those aspects. So we'll start with throwing some arrows in. Well, it's got to come to a bubble first, doesn't it? And hopefully that didn't just waste all that. Let's put that there. There we go. You can see our Volito is completely lit up, which means we've got enough of it flying through the air to work. So also going to need some of that. I think some of that and some of that. Let's take a look. Looks like we have everything except for the Tutamen, which we should be able to get with some pants and a hat. Maybe? Oh, the pants didn't go in apparently. There we go. Pants and a hat will give us boots. Cool. And aha, boots of the traveler. Let's check these things out. They look cool. They got a neat little graphic on them. See them a little bit there. And they're nice. Definitely, definitely run faster. Definitely jumping a little bit higher, you'll notice. These are really neat. I'm a fan. Let's see. Ooh, are these things constantly making us run? I think they are. Oh, that is nice. I'm going to be able to get places really fast with these. Awesome. So yeah, so there you guys go. Once you research up your Boots of the Traveler, you'll have no problem running around and jumping high like a crazy person. So, that done, I'm going to get back over to our, actually I think there was one other item that I wanted to make here before we moved on. So let me go ahead and get the stuff together for that, and I'll be back. Alright, I am back. So first things first, we're going to make ourselves a couple of these to get us started. And I'll show you what they are once I get them in there. So we'll take our wand and make ourselves a thermometer. We're going to end up needing two, but you can make just one, and I'll show you guys what it does on its own. Basically, when you hold it, you'll see it'll pop out here, and you'll see the crystal is sort of moving and pointing in a direction. This crystal points toward the nearest aura node, which is pretty much the center of where all the magical energy is emanating from in our world. So you can use these to find magical aura nodes, and probably one is pretty much straight below us. But I'm not going to stop there, because I want to take two of these and put them together. And what we're going to make are these goggles of revealing, and again for that we need the infusion altar. So it should be something like this, with some leather in the middle and a bit of gold in the middle. Should give us that, and then our wand of the apprentice, of course, will also help. So we're going to need a bit of mutatio, visum, and precantio. Well, I know water shards are a good source of precantio, so I'm going to go ahead and put those in there and let that start cooking. I'm pretty sure spider eye will give us some visum. How much do we need? We need 8, and each of these is going to give us 2, so 4 should do the trick. And then we need mutatio, which we can get from netherwort. And how much of that do we need? 8 as well, so we're going to need 8 of those. Cool. So we've got our water shards. Alright, we got everything. This should be bubbling by now. Oh, be careful stepping on your cauldron when it's bubbling. It will hurt. There we go. You can see our magical energies flying through the air, and goggles are revealing. Now these things are really cool. They will work kind of similarly to the thermometer, but they will also give us a little bit more information. So we can see on the bottom left of the screen, we can see our aura count is at 381 out of 406. That's not bad. This is actually a fairly decent area. Our flux in the air is high. We've been doing a lot of magic here, so that's not great. There are definitely bad things that can happen as a result of a high flux in the air, but hopefully there'll be something we can do about that in the future. Unfortunately, right now, obviously with the amount of research we've done just to try to get everything we need, we've produced a little bit of flux. So, the other cool thing that this thing does, and I'm going to sleep through the night real quick. Let's see. There's our bed. We did finally get a bed in here. That way we can do this. So, that done, let's walk around a little bit. You can see the aura regenerates fairly quickly, and we had a fairly high number here. Aura tends to be higher in places of life. And I thought that this area was pretty full of life to begin with, so if you remember, our thermometer pointed out that there was a node somewhere below us, and as I'm wandering around, I'm not seeing a node. Well, let's wander around over here and see if maybe we can find a node. Let's see, they're pretty obvious when you see. Oh, there it is. This is an aura node. Obviously, you could not see this without the goggles of revealing. And this pretty much tells us where the center of a new magical sort of chunk is. They don't necessarily. It's definitely not a one chunk for one chunk basis, but we can sort of think of these in terms of these little chunks of area where a node controls. Now, there are ways to strengthen nodes and make them bigger, draw more energy toward a certain area, and that's going to involve a bit of tree work. But I don't want to get into that just this episode. I want to get over to our factory and start working on our geothermal power generation. So why don't I dump off some of this stuff and meet you guys back there. Alright, I am back, and you guys can definitely see that some things have changed around here since last episode. If you're interested in seeing all the changes as they're being done, you guys can check out my Twitch channel. I definitely did stream, and you can check out the recordings. It's not too big a deal. Most of it is aesthetic, but it does involve some red power wiring. So you can see I pretty much set myself up some sliding glass doors, so they open and close. They're very cool. Like I said, if you want to see how I wired that, go ahead and head over to my Twitch channel. And we also lit up our entire room with red power lighting. Cool. We can even turn it all off. Haha. Very cool. Not that we'll really need to, but I thought it looks neat. So, and it fits in with our factory theme. So, that done, I want to show you guys our extractor finally finished running. It ran all of the resin that we had, and I just need to remember where to put my extra rubber. There it is. So we got a good bit there. So we're going to get right ahead on started with our geothermal generators, because that's going to be the big next step for us, I think. So I'm thinking 6 is probably a good number to start with. So I'm thinking that's what we're going to go with. So we're going to need a total of 6 furnaces, which luckily, again, we still have a couple of those from thanks to our craft packet stamper, if you remember that. Oh, why not? Let's use it again, shall we? We made it, we might as well use it. That's my line of thinking. And it's pretty easy to use. So we're gonna need a bit of paper. Cannot remember if we actually have any sitting around. Just a piece. Oh, we have plenty of sugar cane. We're gonna have to go over to sort of our mining area and get some more sugar canes. I'm just gonna get, yeah, that's good. 45 paper should be more than enough. So yeah, let's make ourselves some craft packets, shall we? There's 1, 2, 3. Should be something like that. Should be enough. And there we go. Turn that off. So cool. Like I said, all this stuff could be easily automated. You would just have to supply. Oh, that was weird. You would just have to supply these various things with the, with everything that it needs, and it'd be fine. So we've got ourselves some furnaces. Let's get in here. We're gonna need a bit of tin, and we're gonna need. Let's see. Trying to see if we have some refined iron. I don't think that's going to be quite enough, so let's take a look at how much refined iron we're actually going to need. So we're making 6, and we need 8 iron per. So 6 times 8, that's a lot. 32, in fact. And so this should be enough. Just get this cooked up while we're getting together the rest of our materials. We're also going to need a number of batteries, which is going to call for lots of wiring. Where's our copper? There we go. And we have refined iron. We've got tin. Obviously going to need quite a bit more refined iron than what I said, but this is just trying to get generators made, and then we can worry about upgrading them to geothermals when we get there. So we're also going to need 6 RE batteries, which is going to take some of that, and I'm pretty sure we've got some copper cables sitting over here. So let's get to crafting, shall we? So let's start out with our RE batteries. Like I said, we're going to need 6 of these. Actually, first things first, let's make ourselves some more cables, because I know we're going to need them. And we'll just make a good mess of them. We're going to need quite a few, so okay. Okay, now that done, we'll go ahead and make ourselves our batteries. And it should look something like this. Like I said, we're gonna need 6. There we go. And now we can work on, by now this should be done, I think. Shouldn't take too long. And we'll get ourselves 6 machine blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like my math was off. Let's just go ahead and cook up that. Put that in there. Let me go ahead and put some paper in there ahead of time, just because I think it'd be useful. So let's see here. We've got ourselves some machine blocks. We've got our furnaces. We need 2 more of those, and then we can, so while we're waiting for our refined iron to cook up, why don't we take a look at our geothermal generators. Their recipe is here, you can see. Pretty simple to make, not too complicated. Just need some of these empty cells, and that requires some tin. We should be able to get by just with crafting 1 set of these. Well, actually we'll need 2, because we're going to need 2 cells per, and we're making 6, so that should do it. We're also going to need some glass, so let me grab that, and hopefully this should be about nearing its completion. Well, quite a bit of that left to go. So we're going to need glass, that's what we were after. Couldn't remember there for a second what I was doing. Now, these boots of the traveler just really make me walk so fast that I'm walking all over everything. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting this put into our recipe table here. Except I can't. Now I can. Let's get the last of these 2 machine blocks made. 1, 2. Okay. And we have still a good amount of refined iron, because we're definitely going to need 2 more per geothermal generator. So first things first, we'll make ourselves our generators. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll start putting these in here like so. And something like this. Yes. And like I said, we need a little bit more refined iron. I figured it would be done by now. And we'll just put that right there. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. Geothermal generators. Now, I'm thinking these are going to go somewhere along here. And I'm thinking something like this. I don't know if I want it facing that way. I guess it doesn't really matter. It's texture pack. They seem to face pretty much every which way. So let's just do this. 3. Do we want to do them straight along the line or go up into the air a little bit? I kind of like it when it's sort of in the air. So this is just me trying to think while I'm also trying to build. It's not the best way I've found of going about things, but needless to say, come on. There we go. I like these boots of the traveler. The jumping thing is very, very, very nice. So there we go. You can see we got ourselves some geothermal generators working. Well, not yet working, but now we're going to need to get lava over here. And I don't really want to use Buildcraft pipes. I'm going to use a new type of pipe. And that pipe is called a liquiduct. Very cool little device. There we go, liquiduct. Not too difficult to make. We're just going to need some hardened glass and some copper. I don't actually remember if we have any hardened glass anywhere. Looks like we're going to have to make some probably. I'm going to give a quick cursory look around just to make sure, because I thought we might have had some from earlier things, but it doesn't look like we do. So, okay. So let me grind up some of that, make some hardened glass. You guys have seen how to make that already, so I'll do that off camera, and when I come back, we'll continue working on our geothermal power generation. So I'll be back. Alright, I'm back, and you can see I've got myself a good amount of hardened glass here. I'm just going to make, let's say a half stack should be good to start with. Oh, I saw something moving. I think it was just the engines. So what we're going to do is, you can see I've got myself a switch set up on the side of this tank, and you'll understand why in just a little bit. But basically these tubes, they should attach to most things that liquid can attach to. They're a little bit difficult. I think we're going to need our Omni wrench, which strangely enough in this texture pack now looks like a book. Go figure. And we're just going to, let's see, can we, yeah, we can just run it straight down into the ground, and I'm going to run it right over to here. Now, try and decide where I want this to come out at. I don't really like there being a hole right here, but for lack, yeah, that'll be fine. Oop. Okay, so we're just going to dig our way down here. And I'm going to want to be careful, because if I want to run some energy conduits through here, I'm going to have to make sure that we can do that. Can I just get out of this hole? There we go. So yeah, I'm just going to dig down until I find a good spot that I can run this underground. Let's see here. Should be okay if we run it on the top part, because if this line runs under, then we should be okay. So run it just like so. It's a little bit dark down here. Let me light it up just a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. And yeah, come on, get me out of here. And then we'll just run it just like so. Now, I'm trying to decide how I want to. I think what we'll do, just to try to disguise what is actually going on here, is maybe not. Let's see. I'm trying to put a block down again underneath here so that it'll be a little bit hidden what's going on. And I can do the same for here, here. And we'll get another one for that, but we can do that later. We'll just run it just like this. And we should be able to run it like so, and like so. Now, basically to get this thing going, we're going to need just a couple things. First of all, we're just going to whack it with the wrench. You can see the little arrow points from where the liquid is coming from, and then it's obviously going to flow through here. But you can see it's not flowing yet. Well, the reason is it needs a redstone signal to get started. So we'll just flip that, and our lava's flowing. And this should be filling up, unless I have a distinct feeling I'm about to be disappointed. Nope, they're filling. It's just kind of slow. There we go. Our generators are filling with lava, and they are producing power. Cool. That was quick and easy. So there we go. So now we really just need to set up a way to store all this power that we're generating and move it over to whatever it is we're using. So let's cover up our mess a little bit. Find our light zycordite. I like these liquidox because they let us do this stuff without having a bunch of engines or crazy stuff all over the place. So they look pretty good. I'm a fan. And I'm just gonna, like I said, just like before, I'm just gonna put some bricks in just to sort of disguise it a little bit. Unfortunately, and hopefully this will maybe change in the near future, as I think it'd be really cool to be able to chop these up like we do with the other bricks and make some really cool covered up stuff. So now that we're actually using much more of our lava again, our automatic lava retrieval system is functioning. And it's going at a pretty good rate, because obviously this stuff is filling. So with one source of lava, we're generating buildcraft and industrial craft power. Cool. So let's get to working on storing all this power. We're definitely going to need some more refined iron, which we have a little bit here, but not quite enough. So I'm going to get some more of that going. We're starting to run a little bit low. We're going to need our gold. We're starting to run low on some critical items, so I'm probably going to have to do some more mining. I kind of hope to get to some automatic mining sometime in the near future, but has not really been able to happen. So I'm looking at the MFE right now. This is like I said, pretty much the second tier bat box. It's quite a bit more expensive, obviously. We're going to need gold cabling and energy crystals, which are just diamonds with redstone around it. I'm kind of hoping we have enough diamonds, because I know we're low on that as well. Yeah. Well, we do have enough to go ahead and get our MFE made. And we'll need some of that. And we'll need our rubber, wherever I put that, right there. So we'll just take some of this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to need a bit of gold cabling. Oh, it's going to be pesky. I remember now. That should do it. And then we can just insulate it once, insulate it twice. And that should be plenty of gold cable for what we're doing. So all we really need is a machine block. And interestingly enough, you can see down here there are lots of different ways we can make this, thanks to, well, we can use thermal expansion's machine frame, we can use GregTech's machine hulls, we can use forestry sturdy casing, all sorts of different things we can use just to make an MFE. But we're going to use the machine block from Industrial Craft just because that's what we're cooking up. We've got some refined iron going, so might as well use it. So we'll just make ourselves another machine block. Here we go. And it should be something like this to make an MFE with gold cabling around the sides. Cool. Alright, so that done, let's figure out exactly where we want this to go. Trying to decide. I think we're going to definitely want to have room to be able to expand our geothermals later if we want. So why don't we put our MFE here? And it's pretty simple. In standard textures, you should be able to see this thing has pretty much one output slot. It should be the only spot on it, I believe, that has a dot. In this case, it looks like a little plug, so it's pretty obvious. So now we just need to set up a way to get power moving from there to there. So to do that, I'm going to grab some silver, and I'm going to hope that we have enough, because I don't remember exactly how many this makes, but I know it makes quite a few. So we're going to take our last diamond, surround it with silver. Okay, that's going to make 6. It's not going to be enough, but I'll go ahead and show you guys. We'll go ahead and set up some of this. There we go, and you can see our geothermal will turn on. And currently we obviously just have one geothermal feeding power into this thing, but you can see it very quickly filling up. And it's outputting this energy at a rate of 128 energy units per tick. So pretty fast. So I'm just gonna do something along these lines. Now we're getting 3 times that, and we're gonna actually need one more, but when we get another one we can put that here. I'm actually not sure if we'll melt our gold cable. It won't. Cool. So we'll just put a gold cable there for now. We can upgrade it to the glass fiber later. The nice thing about the glass fiber is that these wires have different rates in which the power that's moving through them will decay slightly. For example, the copper cables, not only do they have very low capacity for energy, they would probably melt under these, under the amount of power that's flowing through these, but they have pretty low tolerance for conduction. So basically, you'll lose more energy over a distance with copper cables, and then obviously it's a little bit longer of a distance for gold and even further of a distance for glass fiber. So glass fiber is the best cabling we could possibly really use here. But now that we've got 6 geothermal generators, you guys can see this thing is filling up quite fast, which is exactly what we want. So yeah. So I'm looking at this thing and I actually kind of think it'd be really cool to move this MFE to where this gold cable is, and that should be fine, because then we'll save ourselves a bit of glass fiber in and it'll look good. Yeah. Alright, well, we need to move stuff, and we need to be able to move stuff anyway. So let's go ahead and make ourselves a little bit of a tool. Now that we've got Industrial Craft power, we can actually make some pretty cool things. And the first thing we're going to make, let's take a look, assuming GregTech hasn't drastically changed this recipe. Yeah, a little bit it has changed. So, okay, so we'll have to hold off on that for at least a little while. So, speaking of GregTech, there is actually, we could always just make ourselves a normal Industrial Craft wrench. Why don't we do that, and we don't have any bronze. Okay, let's take a look here. can either cook it up, or we can just combine copper and tin. I kind of like that plan. Where's our tin and our copper? It should combine on a 3-to-1 basis, 3 copper to 1 tin. Should give us that. I think we're going to need a bit more than that. There we go. And like so, should be 6, yes. Get this stuff out of the way. Now by using a standard wrench as opposed to an electric one, there's a small chance we're going to lose our MFE. If that happens, I'm going to be a little upset. We did not. Cool. So we did lose that power, but that's okay. Plenty more where that came from. So let's just stick this right there. Cool. And you can see power's flowing again, and it's starting to fill. Awesome. And from here, basically, there's lots of stuff we can do with this. We can, see, another thing is, if I had wanted and had been thinking about it, we could have just put a cable here and a cable here and put the MFE right in between, as that should have been drawing all the power. But I like the way that looks. That'll be fine. So, that done. The nice thing is, if we really wanted to, we could also upgrade this system immediately with 3 more, the way we have it set up. So, cool. So this done. Let me get together some things. Let me look at where we are and see if we're ready to move on to some of that Greg Tech stuff, because we're getting kind of to the point where we need to. So I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, looks like we are way past the point where we need to call this, so this is about where we're going to call it. Stay tuned next episode. We're going to start building some machines to make use of all this this industrial craft, power that we now have generating, so that will be cool. So until then, this has been episode 14, if I'm correct, of DarkDragoon's Feed the Beast Mod Pack Let's Play. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you guys later.